One day this guy came by, stops in my room, doesn't introduce himself. He just walked into my room, looked at me and said, "So, thought about killing yourself yet?"
Hi, I'm Cody Adams. I'm a student in the media school at Ohio University, and just this past weekend, I had the opportunity to talk to this individual.
Like, what does this guy know that I don't? I'm like, who are you? Like, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm your social worker.
That's Brad Forment. He's a paraplegic, and he has been for over 30 years. But he doesn't know why.
They have no idea as far as what the cause was, and no way to make any difference, any changes to it.
To make a short story shorter, in January 1983, Brad was at a high school basketball game. He began experiencing some numbness in his left foot, a normal case of pins and needles that would go away. It spread up to his shin, then his thigh, then both of his hips. And he still didn't think much of it, figured it was just a case of a sleeping leg, until he got up after the game and collapsed to the ground. With the help of some friends, he was helped to his car, where he drove home operating his knee with his hand, because by that point, the pins and needles had spread down his right leg. It was a short drive to his house where a flight of stairs separated him and the doorway, which he banged on for a little while until his parents came and realized that something was very wrong. They called their family doctor, who told them it was probably a pinched nerve and that he should take a bath. Several hours later, the numbness was still there, and in fact, it was spreading up to his abdomen, so he was admitted to a county hospital, where an even longer story starts.
And they said, we're going to keep you here overnight, and we'll see where things are at in the morning. And if it hasn't changed, you'll be going to a hospital in Cleveland. My parents were just terrified, and I, at this point, still wasn't having much of a reaction. I just, okay, we're just going through the motions here. And eventually, my parents left, and I was checked into my room, and I was laying there thinking about things, and I didn't feel scared. I had a tie-in sensation with something that I'd felt as far back as I can remember. A feeling that something was going to happen in my life that was going to change everything. And it was never anything that I focused on, it was just something that I knew, like I knew my name, that something was going to happen. So as I was laying there just looking up at this hospital ceiling, I thought, oh, I think this is it. And my response to that was, okay, I can do this. The next morning, sure enough, they sent me down to University Hospital in Cleveland, and we started running all the tests, trying to figure out what had happened, and they were kind of frightened because I wasn't matching up with any known diagnoses. What they came up with is that maybe my immune system attacked my neurological system, but other than that, they just don't know. I'm lumped into a group referred to as transverse myelitis, which simply means that there is damage to the myelin sheath on both sides of the spinal cord. Now, that could be a million different people could fall under that. Multiple sclerosis would be a myelin deficiency, but it actually has other people who have it. Mine, I'm a one of a kind. I have these really strange symptoms that should never happen, and they don't know why I'm having them. I went through a 2-year period where every inch of my skin felt like it was on fire. About 2 years of that, and then it just magically went away. Which, how can that be? The transverse myelitis simply explains my paralysis. We don't have a name for whatever it is that makes parts of my body go kablooey. Just cease functioning or function in a very odd manner. There's nothing to cover that. It's lucky that I can get doctors to believe me that I have these symptoms because they're so obscure, and they're always things that there's no real treatment for, or else I don't respond to the treatment. Because we don't have specific knowledge that it is my immune system attacking my neurological system, it's only a guess that I fall into that category. It's the best guess they can make, but there's no proof at all to back it up. It's the one Hunter S. Thompson quote. There he is, one of God's own prototypes, never meant for mass production. Too weird to live, too rare to die. I always liked that one.